the best trade in the world at this phase, the next 2 to 3 months. At the end of this phase, I think the Fed come with their cannons again. Whether it happens quickly or in 3 or 6 months' time, it's coming, and the markets will start to the Pavlovian response of the cavalry's coming. And then I think it's very positive for things like cryptocurrency, probably gold, and a few other things. Real estate, I think, is going to take a while, but I don't think it's probably a big event. It got very frothy. It probably corrects somewhat. But again, I don't think the Fed or anybody else wants to see the property market go down because everyone's got the learnings from 2008. So yes, it softens a bit, etc. I think it's okay, and you'll probably get some bargains. Choice do you give people? Do you say, well, you're going to get destroyed because of the supply chain issues, because of COVID and all of this, and your wages won't keep up, so we're going to destroy household net worth, and everything's levered. So all the borrowings against houses and all the borrowings against equities and all of the borrowings on top of borrowings, and you're going to let the collateral go down and blow the entire thing up. Because don't forget, the abasement of currency works in a simple way. If you're really thirsty and I have a bottle of water, you'll pay anything for it. If you're really thirsty and I've got 5 bottles of water, you're kind of thinking, yeah, I probably need some of that water. I'll buy them all, but at a lower price. If I say, here's 1 million bottles of water, you don't want any of it because there's too much water now. It has no scarcity. So if you make too much of something, it becomes less valuable. So if Da Vinci had created 50 million pieces of art, guess what? They're worthless. And so it's that concept. And what it does is if something gets devalued versus something else, so we're not making more shares in the S&P. Actually, what we're doing is buying them back, making less of them. Therefore, the S&P goes up. Real estate, yes, there's periods where we try and create new real estate, but generally real estate prices go up versus the Fed balance sheet because it's a relatively scarce asset. Same with gold, same with crypto. And we either go through a scenario like 2000, which was a typical old school recession where, equity markets, unwound excesses, the bear market was 18 months or so, and then the Fed keep cutting rates and eventually it stabilizes. But if we look at 2008, which was the next recession, as soon as the Fed used the Fed balance sheet, we pretty much stopped in its tracks. Happened really quite quick after they did that. They cut rates first, didn't really help because the banks had seized up. Then they used the balance sheet. Then they did it again in 2010, 12, 16, and then 18 was the Fed pivot, the Powell pivot, where they went from hiking to, oh my God, we need to cut.
Whenever the stock market wobbled, beginning with the 1987 crash, the Fed rode to the rescue by slashing rates and flooding markets with cash.
Anyway, the point being is you either have a fiscal stimulus, which is, let's say, the Republican view. We'll have a fiscal stimulus, cut taxes, right? and we'll put some spending. And what happens is that doesn't go to the people who are the worst off. Yeah. So it's creating this issue of 1% versus 99, which everybody can see and nobody knows how to solve. The issue is actually the balance sheet because all of the expensive assets keep going up because they keep printing money.
The rich get richer.
The rich get richer. Yeah. But doing this blanket fiscal stimulus is hard because the rich get richer again. So I think people have thought, well, maybe we should just try and give it directly to the people who are most affected. Okay, fine. Those are the two choices, or you do nothing, which is too late because there's too much debt. So you can't let the system clear anymore. The old way would have been you let the system clear, it's all okay, you just have a recession, everyone stops borrowing as much money, blah, 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 blah. The world is 400% of GDP in debt. The world has never been this in debt in all economic history. Yeah, it's the fourth turning.
All right, okay.
It's the fourth turning, and that's where we are. And this may be the final event of the fourth turning. It may be just another phase of pushing this towards it. 2001, 2008, 2020, and maybe now. It just keeps moving the world to the direction that we all know it has to go. Is we need to stop what we're doing and change what we're doing.